Hey everyone, I'm THPine and welcome to Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation. What is Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation, you ask? I like to call it an apocalypse survival, base building and population management game. It's available in Steam Early Access right now and this is what it looks like. So the apocalypse just began and there are demons and monsters everywhere trying to kill all humans. And we have a small group of survivors who are trying, well, to survive and eventually rebuild society. So how do you do that? Well, as usually in games like this, you have to do a few things. You have to build a base, you have to gather resources, you have to produce food, and you have to craft tools and weapons. Let's start with food, shall we? Because that's always really important. You can see some vegetable farms over here. And Brittany is about to plant some seeds. Well, I think first she will probably water this field. Yeah, she's watering this field. And afterwards she will plant some seeds at this field. Because a few moments ago she just harvested this field and we got a bunch of vegetables which are now in our base inventory. This is a global inventory which is shared between all the survivors. So all the survivors can actually, well, get the resources which are in here. So we have 15 vegetables. They don't want to eat those though. They want to eat salads. So we have to produce salads. So we go to the crafting menu and we click on salad, which will take 2 vegetables to craft, and we click on it and it will actually produce 4 salads for every 2 vegetables we have. And now some of our survivors will start preparing salads. I'm not sure who will. Lauren is not right now. Maya is sleeping. Oh no, they're quarrying. Nobody's right now, but they will do in a moment. So Lauren is now. She ate some salads and now she's preparing more salads, and Maya is as well. So they can access that inventory from everywhere and just craft things and put the produced things back into that inventory. And everyone who's hungry will go to the workbench, not the workbench, the food table. The workbench is for different things than eating. The food table, and pick up some salads there and eat them. Well, not necessarily salads, but that's the only thing we have right now, which is the reason for us is starving right now, because salads are not having a lot of nutrient, and our bread resource just ran out, and the site will probably not, well, last very long, but for now it's what we have. So what we want to do is we want to get more food, and my next goal is to actually get bread. For bread, you cannot just craft bread out of thin air as you can do with salad. You need a stove. So we have a stove already, that's good, but we need more. So if you go to the bread in the crafting menu, you can see we need a stove, and we need wheat and wood. And I'm actually not sure why you need wood. I guess they burn it. Yeah, probably. That's probably the reason. So we need wheat. For wheat, we need a wheat farm. And for the wheat farm, we need scraps, which we have, wood, which we don't have, and clay, which we don't have neither. So we need to gather more clay and wood. How do we do that? Well, we quarry clay at these clay thingies over here. Martha and August are doing this right now. And we chop trees for getting wood. Maya is doing this down here. Lauren is probably taking more water, yeah, and Brittany's going to sleep, so that's important as well. Go to sleep. Your survivors, for the most part, work on their own. You can give them order. I can tell Martha, for example, to get this clay thing instead of this one, or just send her somewhere else. For example, go chop some trees or something along those lines. But for the most part, they work on their own agenda. Well, no, you can change that. However, you can give them priorities and tell them what to do, which is more important. The most important for all of them is needs. You can change that. You can tell them crafting is more important than sleeping and eating, but you probably shouldn't do that. So keeping needs up here is a good idea. But you can change the order of all the other things, and you can do this individually for all the survivors. So you can tell one survivor, chopping trees is really important for you, and another one, quarrying stuff is really important for you. And so you can split tasks and give them the tasks they're best at. So we have enough clay right now, so let's actually get more trees. Where are trees? Down there. Let's send them down here. You can give them, as I said, direct orders, which I just did, to get more wood, because that's what we need right now to get a wheat farm. Do we have more? We have more vegetables. We need more salad really badly because people are starving. Okay, she's preparing salad now, which is good. There's time control, which is why I'm pressing space every time I'm not sure everything is going the way I want it to go, because that will pause the game. You can also speed it up, which might be important because it takes a bunch of time to get the resources you need from time to time. Not because it takes long to like chop a tree or something or quarry stone, but just because you need a lot of resources, which is actually one of my biggest complaints with the game. the base building is really, really slow because you need so many resources. No, we don't need clay. Let's actually, let me finish the sentence and afterwards we clear this task. So, the buildings and stuff just take a lot of resources. So the wheat farm takes 30 wood, which is a lot, and 15 clay, which is a lot as well. This will take you a while to get all those resources. And I played for an hour, a little more than an hour, and I got this. 2 cabins, a stove, a research table, which I will talk more about later, a food table, a bed, and 2 farms. And that's it. That's all I could afford so far. So, yeah, gathering resources is not very quick in this game. Let's talk a little bit more about tasks, though. So how do I actually assign tasks? Well, we have a create task menu, which we can use to, for example, give a chop tree task and select all those trees, and now they will be chopped eventually. Also, there is a cancel task, which allows me to cancel certain tasks like this, and now they will not query more clay, and instead she will go chopping trees, which is what I need right now because we need wood badly, really badly. So, survivors have different skills: gathering, science, crafting, farming, building, combat, and occult, which will, which determines how good they are at certain things. And they get better by just doing it as well, so training is always helpful for them. And we're still 5 wood short from the damn wheat farm. We probably, like, I played this save file a little further and I actually game overed and now reloaded it because all my survivors starved. So I'm trying really hard to get that wheat farm running, but I'm probably gonna fail at it again. I think the save file is just lost and I should probably restart the game completely. But maybe not. Maybe we can save it somehow. Come on, chop some trees, guys. There we go. I think 2 more. Yeah, 3 more actually. We should get that soon though. So yeah, you have those skills and they have those, well, I don't know how to call them. Like, I don't know, things like descriptions. She's handy, for example, and a weirdo. And handy gives her +1 in crafting, and a weirdo gives her +2 in occult, but -1 in crafting. So that's great because that means her crafting is still 0. And there was irony because obviously it's good to have some survivors who are really good at some things. So it would be nice to have characteristics, might be a good word, that are actually synergizing with each other and not canceling each other out. So if you take a look at Maya, she's handy as well. August is an alien abductee, apparently, which gives her +1 in occult, science, and crafting, but -1 in farming. And she's technophobe, which means she has -2 levels in science. They will not go negative though, but I think red means that they're like, getting +1 in here will still result in a 0. And so yeah, then also you have a very minimalistic like equipment menu. You have a weapon, an armor, and an equipment item. I didn't get any equipments yet. Well, actually I didn't get any armor yet either, and I have only very basic weapons so far. I have a club and I can craft a bow. I didn't do that yet though. Well, can I, or do I need a workbench for that? Actually, I need a workbench for that, which I didn't afford. I couldn't afford yet. So anyway, let's build a wheat farm. We're still 1 wood short. God damn it. Chop trees quicker. There we go. Now we have it. We build it here, and let's send someone actually build it. Let's say Laura build it. There we go. Because we need that wheat farm very, very quickly. Do we have more vegetables right now? No, this is at 89, like 90% maturity right now, which means we gain a bunch of vegetables soon, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. Okay, this is bad news. We're getting attacked soon, so our base will be attacked by monsters, which is one of the ways how you can get in combat. The other one is via the world map, which I will show you later. So we're getting attacked soon, which is not great. Let's actually, before we're getting attacked, because I missed that last time, craft another club, because we don't have enough weapons for all the people we have. We're actually missing 1 club. I'm not sure who is. I think Martha's was the other weapon. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting attacked soon, but yeah, we at least we can build a wheat farm right now, so that's great. Let's wait for the attack, and I show you how combat works, and then we go to research in the world map and stuff like that. So yeah, the priority system and the task system works fairly well actually. It would be nice to have like a screen where you can see all the priorities of your survivors summarized in a way. Not quite sure how that would look like, but like to see, it would be nice to see. That you have like 1 guy being. Can you do this, please? That would be important. What she's doing? No, don't go for water. Can you please plant seeds? That would be great. I think Brittany is probably doing that. No, who's plant seeds? Sometimes they ignore your orders. They usually don't, but sometimes they do. I'm not sure why she is now. I'm not a fan of that. Can you please plant seeds? We need those. We need those badly. Usually it works, but recently sometimes it didn't. Can you do it maybe? No? I'm not sure why they ignore me. Maybe because it's priority of Brittany? That would still be weird. Anyway, we're getting attacked now. So, we can equip our soldiers. We should do so. There we go. Well, soldiers, I say. Survivors. Now we're getting attacked, and we pause the game. So this is a small group of enemies. 1 imp and 2 minor demons. We should be okay, but it's still taking time and away from getting food, actually, which is not great. So let's gather our survivors over here and fight off the enemies. The imp is a little quicker than the others, so it's actually a good idea to wait for them to come here, because that means we probably can kill the imp before the others get here. The combat is very simplistic, especially melee combat. There is range combat later, like I can get bows and stuff like that, but which will be a little bit more complex because there's actually cover and stuff like that. I think we want to get August out of here. But the melee combat is very simplistic because cover doesn't do anything. You just click on them. You deal more damage or have a higher hit chance, I'm not sure actually, or maybe both, if you're attacking them from behind or flanking them. Is someone going for that fucking wheat farm? No, they just ignore me. Get to the freaking wheat farm. I'm not sure why they don't do it. They usually the system works really well, but right now they just ignore my order. I'm really not sure why. Anyway, I hope someone will plant wheat soon, because if not, we're pretty screwed. Also, someone has to harvest those vegetables. I'm not sure why they don't do it. This has to be fixed somehow. I'm not sure if this is a bug or if it's a feature I don't understand. But in both cases, this has to be improved. August is dying soon, by the way. Because she doesn't have health, she's losing more health. She doesn't have food, so she's losing more health. I don't think we have anything to eat now. She's just dying soon. So Brittany is probably doing the farming stuff now. Can you please first farm those? No, she's ignoring my orders as well. I'm not sure what's going on here. Usually, as I said, the system worked really well so far, but now it's screwing up for some reason. So August just died, that's bad. Now we can get some more food. And maybe we can somehow survive this, but this is gonna get pretty ugly very soon. So we get a bunch of vegetables in a moment. There we go. Let's instantly craft them into salads. And hopefully survive this somehow. Now she's planting seeds. Can you plant seeds over there, please? We need wheat. Okay. So she's preparing salad now, and then she will probably run to the food table to eat it. This is really silly, by the way. She's preparing salad over here. But to eat it, she has to go over here. Which is weird. Why are you... No. Oh, she's going eating first. God damn it. Can you do this? No? No? Okay. I guess not. So they're all eating now. I mean, it's important that Brittany is eating because she's close to death as well. So that's good. Anyway, is she? No, she's still not doing it. Can you go there? I don't know why this is not working. This is really weird. But we should just move on. Anyway, this game is in early access, so they might fix this, hopefully, eventually. By the way, they will heal just over time. They will just, if they're like in a good shape, like having enough nutrient and sleep, they will just heal over time. So that's not a big issue. She's going back again. She's eating again, I guess. I don't know. If nobody is planting seeds here, we will never get bread. Anyway, this save file is probably fucked anyway. Let's talk about research, shall we? So, the game calls itself a simulation, but I don't think that's very accurate. Oh, we get more vegetables. I'm sorry that I'm derailing all the time, but I'm really trying to actually save this game really badly, and we just get another bunch of vegetables. So maybe we can somehow turn this around by getting more salads and hopefully eventually plant some wheat. But I don't know. I don't know yet. At least they're not starving at the moment. Well, most of them. So that's good. Maybe is she? No, she's still not doing it. Okay, I will talk about research in a moment, but I want to see if she's goddamn planting those seeds right now. Planting those goddamn seeds. That's what I wanted to say. There we go. Did she do it? Yeah, she did it. Okay, great. Okay, let's move on. So, the game calls itself a simulation. I don't think that's very accurate. The game has a lot of very gamey mechanics. For example, the shared inventory. The other thing, which is very gamey, is the research system. So, first of all, you build an experiment table where you do experiments, where you gain science research points. So that's gamey in of itself. But also, that you build the table very early doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it's one of the first things you do, actually, at least if you follow the tutorial. Which doesn't make sense. Like, if you're in a survival situation, the first thing you do is probably, well, like, not the first 3 things that come in your mind will probably not include research and building an experiment table. Like, that doesn't sound reasonable, right? However, this is how it works. So you get research points. And the other thing you can get is you can build a magic circle, which will give you occult research. And, that will, well, allow you to do occult research. So let's pause the game and go to the research screen really quick. So this is the research screen, and we have a bunch of science research over here, and a bunch of occult research over here. So the screen is not very well designed, I believe. So even if I go out to the maximum zoom, I still cannot see everything, which is a little weird. And the pictures are not very describing either. Like, they give the general direction, but they have all the same picture and stuff like that. But basically, it's a bunch of research trees you can go down. And for some reason, you can scroll down very far down here. I guess they're planning on adding more research to the game, but right now, there's not too much in there. This is not unlocked yet, like it says coming soon, so this is a not implemented feature yet. And yeah, research costs you research points. And sometimes extra resources as well. Like, there we go, this costs a bunch of metals. And especially the occult ones are pretty interesting. I didn't got them yet though, because I'm still focusing on surviving and getting food. But you can, for example, research Demon Origins, which will unlock the Research Dark Magic, which will then unlock the Hellforge and the Demonite Bow. Or you can go for the rituals, which will unlock the Grow Trees ritual, which will grow new trees and stuff like that. Or you can get the Soul Harness ritual and stuff like that, and Rain Dance. I don't know, I like the idea of this stuff. So, like, an occult theme is like not an uncommon thing in games. Especially in apocalyptic games, obviously, and in horror games and stuff like that. But having, like, active occult mechanics for the player is unusual. Usually, the occult stuff is like the enemies or some occult beasts or something, or the environment is very occult with a bunch of rituals and shrines and whatnot. But then you have, like, for example, an occult research tree. That's not a very common feature in games, I feel. So I kind of like the idea. And there's a bunch of crazy stuff in here. Demon stamina, and I don't know, harvest ritual, mutate soul, summon ghosts, and summon imps. I don't know, this is pretty cool. And a pain charm, a demonite armor. Okay, why not? But yeah, at the beginning of the game, I imagine you will focus on this, probably, because you need food quickly, more food. And maybe on animal raising soon afterwards, because that's food again. And food is important. So, how are my survivors doing? We have a bunch of salads still. That's good. That's really good. We're still pretty low on food. So, yeah, that's not great. We probably want to build more farms, but we're... Well, actually, mostly lacking clay. So, let's actually create that task again. There we go. All the clay. And someone will do it now. Right now, we have to chop a few more trees as well. You can, by the way, rebuild trees. Like, we can build a tree, and someone will build a tree there, which you done. Well, it's not instantly there. It will grow. Someone will plant a tree there is the correct word, I guess. And then you can harvest? No, you can chop it down later. Let's actually add this to our task list as well. We need a bunch of wood as well. How's it looking with the wheat? Not great. They take forever to mature. That's not helpful. But anyway, let's move on. So, the last big menu, or the last big feature I didn't talk about yet, is the world map. So if you go to the world view, let's pause the game again actually, you can see a bunch of icons here. So this is our base, and there are a bunch of other things surrounding it. So there's a supermarket, for example, and we can go for the supermarket and scavenge it for loot. And actually, this might be a good idea because there's 20 bread to be found there, which would be very helpful. However, there will be enemies. That looks like 1 minor demon and 2 imps, if I'm not... Yeah, there we go. That's correct. The mouse overworks. Cool. We could do that. Let's actually do that right now. And see who's... Actually, no, my survivors are super low on health. I cannot really afford doing that. Also, this will cost me food, and I'm not sure if I want to do that. But we want those breads. I mean, this will be risky. These are not a lot of enemies, though. We probably can beat them pretty easily. But we're pretty low on health. Let's send those 3. This will cost us 7 salads, which is not great, but let's do it anyway to show how it works and maybe get the bread. That would be amazing. So the thing will move over there and it will reach there, and then we get in here, and now we have to kill them. And the game is still pausable, like we can pause it anytime we want, and we just have to kill them now. First of all, we have to find them though. There is let's just stay here and let it come towards us. Well, that's actually not a good place to fight. Let's get over here. Maybe we can set up a trap if we position our guys correctly, like this. No, not like this. Maybe like this. There we go. No, the imp gets. Now he doesn't get in here. That's not good. Let's get up there, Brittany. And now go down there again, and we all attack that imp. Brittany is super low though, so I don't want to lose her. We'll probably pull her back in a moment. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure if this is going great. Can we all attack the imp now? That would be cool. You can micromanage this quite a bit, and that makes it a little bit more effective. But it's still most of the time just focus down one enemy after another and hope for the best. Oh god. Okay, we got him. We're super low though, but we got a bunch of resources, so that's good. We got a bunch of bread, so we're fine for a little longer. Oh, what's this? Research the apocalypse. Oh, that's the next part of the... Oh, that's the next... yeah, that's the next mission. I didn't talk about those yet. So you, like, the game is actually using, like, has a mission screen, and you get a mission, and my mission right now was to actually scavenge an area. And we did that, and now we got the next one, and it tells me to build a magic circle to research demon origins. However, I'm more focused on surviving right now, so that would be important. But yeah, I think that's all the major mechanics of the game. Let's talk about menu design a little bit. So the UI works fairly well. The UI is pretty good. Like, the map is actually... I love the map. It's... Obviously, it doesn't look great, but it's very descriptive. It's really clear. You can really clearly see what is where and have a pretty good overview over your base, so that's good. The resources up here work as well. It's pretty nice. The buttons up here have pretty good icons. You know which is what and stuff like that. Having the survivors down here works well as well. You have good hotkeys, numbers, and the keyboard. Keyboards? What? Keys? No, not keys. Characters. Letters. That's the word I was looking for. Letters. Letter keys, whatever. You have hotkeys for all of this stuff, which is important. And you have the time control over here. The time control works very well. Like, you have pause, which is activated by pressing space, and you can unpause by pressing space again. You have, you can speed up the time as well, so that's cool. However, it looks really weird. It looks totally out of place. So all of this stuff is like scribbling on a notepad style, art style. However, the time thing looks like a rusty metal thingy for some reason. Now we got like an event. Someone needs assistance. Let me explain that really quick. We go to the world map and we see someone needs assistance here. We can go there and send people there and fight off those enemies. And if we succeed, we will get a new survivor and get more population, which is a good thing because that means we can get more resources. However, we need more food as well, so that's not great. I don't think we want to do that right now though, because there's a Reaper. I never fought a Reaper, but I imagine they're a little stronger than the others. And we're really low on health right now, so that's probably not a good idea, especially because we still have super basic weapons because we couldn't afford better ones yet. I think we're good on food for a while though, so that's amazing. Lauren, by the way, you could stop producing water for a moment. We have a decent amount of water right now. Let's build a tree. Let's take a look at that. She probably I never did that before, but I imagine she's planting a small tree. This takes a while, but you have to do that. Yeah, it's a small tree. There we go. You have to do that to in order to get the trees you need, because you will run out of trees at some point. So yeah, especially because, as I said, you need a lot of resources. The menus. As I said, the UI is actually working very well. So is the survivor menu. I like it. Like, it's pretty good. Like, it's ordered very well. You see everything you need really quickly and can find everything and change priorities. Did I show this, by the way? I'm not sure. I think I showed it. You can reorder the priorities here by doing this, for example. So that works very well. Some of the other menus are not so amazing. The inventory, the building, and the crafting menu especially are a little weird because, first of all, they only take a very small part of the screen, which is not great because, yeah, if you get a lot of items in here, especially in the building menu, this is full already. It will probably scroll like this later, but that's not like why not just use more space of the screen, like 50% or 90%, or maybe the full screen? I don't know, but not just like 20 or 25%. We're again running out of food. Where's the? Did they eat all the bread already? Are you kidding me? I think they did. God damn it! So bread is not actually that good. We still have nutrient. I wonder where though. Maybe in the water? I don't know. Will they eat the medicine? I don't believe they do that, but I don't know. Yeah, we might go game over here anyway. But still, so the menus are not amazing. Also, you cannot filter or group this stuff, so that's not great either. And I think these are things that should be improved until the game. Like the game is in until before release. That's what I wanted to say. So the game is still in early access, so there's a bunch of stuff you can improve. And I think menus is one major thing here. So yeah, the biggest points for me are actually like the combat is very simplistic and boring, and it doesn't help that the animations are super simplistic as well. So that's not great. Wait, did we get? No, this made just super slowly. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, but I'm not sure if we got the food. I'm not sure if we got the bread. We got 20 bread from that mission, didn't we? I'm not sure. They maybe did eat through all of it already. I don't know. So yeah, the combat is very simplistic. The menus are not very well, not. Yeah, some of the menus are a little iffy and not great to use. And my biggest issue right now is that the gathering part and the progression just feels very slow because you need so many resources, and it also feels a little unbalanced. That might just be me being unexperienced, but I basically did what the tutorial told me to do for the most part. So I'm not sure. So either they have to rebalance the game or improve the tutorial to make it easier for a new player to not get in a situation like this. But as I said, I played a little bit over an hour now in this specific save file, and this is all I got. This is not a lot. Like, the building just takes forever because not the building itself, but the gathering of the resources takes forever because you need so many of them. So we got a bunch more food, so let's craft more salad and hopefully survive this somehow until we get enough wheat to actually craft some bread. But yeah. Also, the name is terrible. That's probably not the thing that's gonna change, but the name of the game is terrible for two reasons. It's just way too long and just a bunch of words after each other. Judgment, Apocalypse, Survival Simulation. Like, that's... What? That's not a good title for a game. Well, it makes it easy to search. That's a plus. Like, it's better than a game like that's just called Apocalypse or something, like, because you never find those if you're looking for them in Google or Steam. Well, in Steam you do because that's the exact name, but if you Google for them, you will have no luck. But the game is just, the title is just really clumsy. And also it's not very descriptive because the game is not a simulation at all, in my opinion. Like, this is not a simulation. It's a strategy game. It's a base building game. It's about managing your survivors and stuff like that. And but it's not realistic. Like, if a game calls itself a simulation, I expect it to be somewhat realistic. And this game is clearly not, as I explained earlier, with the research system, the inventory, and stuff like that. So, yeah. But overall, it looks like a cool game. I think they should work on it quite a bit more, but yeah, they're planning on releasing the full version near the end of 2016. But as I said, they have to improve a bunch of things. The game is a little rough around the edges, but I think the game has potential and it could become a really cool game. And what I would propose is, like, for you now, not for the developers, to wait for the game to fully release and see in what state it will release eventually, if all the issues are fixed and improved. And if that's the case and you're interested in that kind of game, I think this might become a really good buy. Right now it's a little rough around the edges. It's still fun though, like, it's not the worst game ever. But I think there are better games out there right now. That's in general my point with early access most of the time. Yes, you can, like, a lot of the games are fun already in early access, but usually there are so many good completed games already that most of the time there is a better pick than an early access game right now. But in some genres that's not true, and sometimes a game just does one thing you really like and you want to try it out as early as possible. So there's a reasonable, like, there are some reasons to get into early access games. But yeah, you have to make that judgment call for yourself, obviously. Anyway, let's go to the setting menu and then wrap up the video. So the setting menu is bare minimum. It's not terrible, but it has resolution option, that's good. It has full screen and window. Actually, full screen is borderless window mode, which is cool. I prefer that. However, it would be nice to have a proper full screen mode anyway. well, it's kind of like, it's an old school thing. You don't need that anymore. Like, borderless window works very well for the most part. I usually complain about the lack of borderless window mode, so it's nice to have that in here. Anyway, then we have anti-aliasing. That's the only graphical option we have. Like, we cannot change lighting or anything, or texture detail. But I think that's not a big issue because this is a 2D game. This should not be very taxing to your graphics card. So this is probably not a big deal. You have separate sound sliders, which is good. However, there's a bug in the main menu. Like, I will not go to main menu for this very reason. The sound sliders work, but they don't work in the menu. The menu will always have the default settings, which is everything to max, I believe. And the music in the main menu is just really loud because it will not be affected by those sliders, which is obviously not great. But, well, it's an easy bug to fix. And then you have an autosave option where you can change the interval. The one big thing missing here is key rebinding. It would be nice to rebind those keys. I think numbers for the survivors is a good thing, but those, like, these are like the keys for those buttons are like based on the what the button does, like I for inventory, R for research, B for building and stuff like that. And that's cool when you start out the game because then you can figure out which is where. But if you get used to the game, it's probably better to just have them like in your first line on the keyboard, like Q, W, E, R, for those buttons. That would be easier, I believe. But that's a minor thing. Anyway, key rebinding is always nice to have. Especially because you have different keyboard layouts, and sometimes some keys are really hard to reach on some keyboard layouts. So yeah, please put in key rebindings. Anyway, let's wrap it up. So as I said, the game can become pretty good. It's a little rough around the edges right now. I will put a link as always in the description below, so you can check it out there. And it's called Judgment Apocalypse Survival Simulation for some reason. And yeah. This is it. I think it's pretty neat, but it has to improve. But that's what Early Access is for. I'm TH Point. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun and see you next time.